And I said, well, heck, that's easy. All right, welcome to my first vlog from North Carolina. It's pretty hot right now. So this is the new work area. It's a little different than my old setup. This house has got a garage. It also has like an outbuilding, and this is kind of what that is. You can kind of see the KLR behind me there. I'm getting out of the way. But anyway, just completed an oil change on the KLR. You can see there, managed to not get any on the concrete, which is good. But yeah, so one thing I didn't mention, and we haven't posted the camping video yet as of this recording. It's July 8th, it's a Monday. I'm off work today. The oil issue. Yeah, so ended up picking that up on the way down to Southern Virginia for the camping trip. And what happened was, I took a lot of highways, so I was flogging that KLR. I was flogging it like it owed me money. I was flogging it like a rented mule. I was beating up on it pretty good. We're doing 75 plus miles per hour down the highway. Checked at the first gas stop, checked the oil. Oil seemed a little bit low. So rode another 50 miles or so, and it seemed even lower. And as you know, my typical reaction is to be overly anal retentive. I did not have, right now I'm running the Kawasaki oil in it, which is this stuff. But I did not have any with me. And I was in pretty remote areas of Southern Virginia, so I didn't really have an option to go to a Kawasaki dealer or a motorcycle dealer at all, in fact. So I found that Rotella T in a shop on the side of the road somewhere. So of course they only sold gallons, so what do I get? I get a gallon. I topped off my motor oil. And yeah, I know you're not supposed to mix oils, but you know, some oil is better than no oil. And it really wasn't that bad. I probably overreacted. I probably could have been fine without it and waited till I got to the campsite and Ron had some oil. So I overreacted as usual when it comes to that kind of stuff. So it's fixed now. I dumped the oil, got an oil change on it. Everything's good. So I'm gonna go for a ride. Alrighty, boys. Move has been completed. Welcome to my first moto vlog in North Carolina. Man, I'm glad that's over with. I'll be traveling quite a bit for the next couple months, but the family is officially moved. Everything's moved. All our household goods are moved. And I am just out exploring a little bit. Got nowhere really to ride to today. I'm just riding for the fun of it. And also to respond to Mason's video, he wanted us to respond about the 3 R's, the 3 reasons we bought a KLR. And I said, well, heck, that's easy. But first, we're going to come down here and check out this boat landing. There's Lake Norman right there. Pretty sweet. What do we think? You think the KLR can swim? Nah. Alright, so the first reason I think is, you know, the biggest reason, and that's I wanted to get into adventure riding, and I don't mean, you know, you can, any motorcycle can be an adventure motorcycle, just depending on what your interpretation is, right? I mean, it can take you anywhere for the most part. But in some cases, you know, like with my Harley, you can't take me places where there aren't any roads. And I've just kind of been fascinated with that dual sport kind of concept on a motorcycle since I've been riding, and I've always wanted one. So that's really the first reason, is I wanted to get into adventure motorcycle, wanted to get something that could get me off-road, and that was the biggest motivation. That's the main thing. And then I guess that begs the question, well, why the KLR? And that's kind of really the answer to 2 and 3 answer that question. And then the second part is, come on, my grip is moving. That sucks. The second question, or the second reason primarily, is the reputation of the KLR. The KLR has been around for 30 plus years. I've seen them decked out as commuter bikes. I've seen them decked out as hardcore off-road bikes. So I mean, the KLR has a heck of a reputation, and one of the cool things, when I really first started looking hard at the KLR, is when they remodeled it or re-released it, let's say, within 2014 or 2008 to 2014 time frame. They re-released the KLR in a new body style and made a couple adjustments to it, and that's when I really started looking at it. And I found an article, I think it was Cycle World, talked about how the KLR would be their motorcycle of choice in the zombie apocalypse. So I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. And they had in the article, they had decked one out for all kinds of cool stuff to make it look like a zombie apocalypse bike, and I thought that was cool. But that's not the main reason I bought one, but the overall reputation of the KLR is being tough, reliable, etc. That's number 2. All right, reason number 3, and this is kind of tied to 1 and 2, obviously, and I think it's the reason a lot of us roll towards the KLR is I wanted to see reason 1. I wanted to get into adventure riding, but I didn't want to drop a ton of coin, you know. I already had a bike, and you know, at one point I had a V-Strom as well, and that didn't quite answer the mail for me. It was a great bike on the road, but without a lot of modification, I couldn't really get it to where this is to go off-road. So V-Strom was great, I just didn't think it was quite as off-road worthy as the KLR, and I didn't want to drop a ton of money on something like another V-Strom or a BMW GS, and then find out that I, didn't have a real passion for adventure riding. So turns out I do have a passion for adventure riding, and the KLR is a great entrance into that arena. And as a follow-on to that, the cost issue is, I didn't want to buy a $13,000 motorcycle and be dropping it all the time off-road. I wanted to be able to push myself a little bit and not have to worry about damaging a super expensive motorcycle. And the KLR has proven to be super tough and capable of being dropped without batting an eye. And matter of fact, it couldn't even tell. The thing is tough as nails. So those are my 3 reasons, guys: adventure riding, the reputation of the KLR, and the cost of entry. Alright, so that'll tie up that one. If you made it this far with me, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one. That's all I have to say about that.